Hi there, and welcome to your main newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. I am Joshua Van Slijkman. Thank you for joining us. In our headlines this afternoon, ExxonMobil quits 80% stake in Ghana and acres to focus on Guyana and others. UN launches network to help all countries combat corruption. Suspects leave $10 million in ganja behind to escape Kanu ranks. And man fractures co-worker's skull over argument at birthday party. Stay tuned to stay informed. And now for the news in details for today, Friday, June 4th, 2021. ExxonMobil this weekend relinquished its majority interest in Ghana's deepwater Cape Three-Point blocks located offshore. This was confirmed at Reuters, Bloomberg, and other international media agencies yesterday. Priyab Arka, a spokesman for Exxon in Ghana, said that ExxonMobil is prioritizing near-term capital spend on the most advanced assets with the lowest cost of supply in the portfolio, including developments in Guyana, Brazil, and the U.S. Permian Basin. ExxonMobil has acquired the rights to explore the deepwater Cape Three-Points block in 2018. The U.S.-based company held an 80% interest in the concession over Guyana. ExxonMobil, via its subsidiary Esso, operates the Stabroek block that spans 26,800 square kilometers, more than 18 times the size of the block that was held by the oil giant in Ghana. But the production sharing agreement states that the Stabroek block operator to be exempt from various types of taxes. The United Nations yesterday launched the Global Operation Network of Anti-Corruption Law Enforcement Authorities, geared towards empowering all countries with practical solutions and tools to track, investigate, and prosecute corruption. The network was launched as a complement to existing frameworks and in conjunction with the United Nations General Assembly's first ever special session against corruption. That session began on June 2nd and comes to an end today. Following the launch, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that the network is a step in the right direction, while adding that it will enable law enforcement authorities to navigate legal process through informal cooperations across borders. He said it will also help to build trust and bring those guilty of corruption to justice. And moving on, three suspected drug traffickers on Wednesday abandoned some 80 kilograms of marijuana in a cane field at Line Path, Quarantine Berbice, Region 6, to escape ransom Kanu. The bulk parcels found slashed in the bushes of the cane field, excuse me. The suspects, all male, ran away from the rank sometime around 17 hours 30. According to a Kanu press release, the officers were on day 4 of the surveillance operation. This is your main newscast. More news ahead. Stay with us. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We continue with the Kanu story. On Wednesday, the ranks headed to an area called Goat Dam to carry out the surveillance on the cane field. After 2 hours of waiting, Kanu stated, they saw 3 men walking through the cane field heading towards them. The Kanu ranks reportedly emerged from their hiding place to intercept the men, but when they called out for them not to move, the suspect decided to run away. Kanu stated that the men ran through the cane field and the ranks could not chase behind them because of a canal separating the dam from the cane field. A minor on Wednesday reportedly fractured his co-worker's skull over an argument which they had at a birthday party held at the previous day at 28 miles Upper Berbice River, Region 10. Police identified the severely wounded co-worker as Kelvin Roberts of Mahaika, East Coast, Demerara. The minor who allegedly fractured his skull is 41-year-old Troy Castello of East Bank, Essegrebo. According to a police report, it was Roberts who first attacked the wounded Castello, causing him to receive severe head injuries as well. Both men are currently hospitalized, but investigators are unable to visit the scene at the moment and take statements or carry out a proper investigation because of the severe flooding in the area. This is your main newscast. Still to come, man arrested admits he sexually assaulted 14-year-old girl. Social media activist charged for making derogatory remarks against sports minister. Bandit beats and chop man while robbing home. And meanwhile, former GWI CEO says 30 million party bill was investment in staff. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Guyana, please join me on the Glenn Lal Show, 99.1, 99.5 FM, Kaieteur Radio, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast of the next day at 11 a.m. just in case you miss that program.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. A 23-year-old man who was arrested for sexually assaulting a teenage girl admitted to detectives that he is guilty of committing the act. According to the police, the incident occurred on Wednesday in Bartica, Region 7, involving a 14-year-old girl. Sometime around 17 hours on the day of the incident, a police report was made and the suspect was later arrested. Police said he was informed of the allegation made against him, to which he admitted. He is in custody, assisting with the investigation. Social media activist Gavin Matthews, who was arrested back in April for allegedly making and publishing a video containing derogatory remarks about Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports Charles Ramson Jr., was yesterday charged and released on $100,000 bail after appearing in court. 44-year-old Matthews denied the charge, which stated that on March 25th, without legal or lawful justification or excuse, used a computer system to publish electronic data of Ramson with the intention to damage his reputation and corrupt public morals. Matthews' lawyers made a bail application to the court for his client to be released on a reasonable amount of bail. Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan then placed the defendant on bail, and the matter was adjourned to June 10th. A man is now nursing a chop wound after 5 armed bandits broke into his home yesterday morning. According to a police report, the 52-year-old had encountered the perpetrators, who made their way into his living room around 2 hours 30. The 5 suspects were reportedly armed with 2 cutlass and a handgun. One of the perpetrators, while demanding cash, dealt the victim a chop to his head. The man handed over $220,000 in cash, after which the house was then ransacked by the suspects, who took multiple items. The injured man was taken to the Diamond Hospital to seek medical treatment for his injury. An investigation is currently in progress. The ex-CEO of GWI, Dr. Richard Van West Charles, says that the company's $30 million party bill for 2018 was an quote-unquote investment in his staff. Cash-strapped GWI could not pay its electricity bill that year, but was able to spend a combined $30 million for a Christmas party and its anniversary celebrations. Van West Charles said yesterday that the move to spend the money was not a quote-unquote luxury, but rather an investment in the employees. He posited that the 21st century management speaks to the need to invest in workers. He argued that Guyana's public utility companies did not follow this commitment to their workers and described this as a mismatch with words in CARICOM documents that the country has signed on to. He added that another reason why $30 million was spent on a year activity was because many of the GWI workers did not know their companies, suggesting that it was a way for them to meet and greet their colleagues. Van West Charles also hinted during the press conference that apart from the $30 million, more money was spent to invest in staff. You're listening to us right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. When we return, it's going to be time for your COVID-19 updates, followed by the page 7 of the Kaieteur News that is dedicated of being blunt. Stay with us. COVID-19 cases in Guyana stands at 16,376. There were 100 cases within the last hours. Meanwhile, 17 persons in the COVID-19 ICU. To date, 15,000 virus. 400 persons died from COVID. And with that, we've turned our attention to page 7 of the Kaieteur News that is dedicated of being blunt. Fellow Guyanese, we are losing $1 million every month that goes by with this oppressive Exxon contract. We have no full coverage insurance from the oil people. Furthermore, this country does not know the interest rate we are paying on the 20 billion loans for Liza 1, 2, and Payara. And we do not even know how much they are taking out for cleanup costs. This contract is worse than any oil contracts in the last 100 years. It must be noted, however, that the contracts are for renegotiation, but our leaders, all of them, are not in favor of renegotiation. We need that contract to be renegotiated. We cannot sit back and allow this contract to throw us back into slavery or have us continue to look like beggars to the world. But we cannot fight in isolation. We all have to do our part to ensure that the contract is renegotiated. Moreover, Glenn Lau, the publisher of this newspaper, is calling you out of wherever you are, only for 5 minutes, neighbors, friends, and colleagues about the renegotiation of this contract. You can snap photos and post them to social media, and even send a few to his WhatsApp on 624-456, so that the world can know and see that together demanding the renegotiation of the Exxon contract. Continue this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday until we overcome. And with that, we've come to the end of your main newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Let me remind you that you can get the full details of these stories and much more by picking up a copy of the Kaieteur News at a newsstand near you, or head across to our website at kaieteurnewsonline.com. I am Joshua Van Sleckman. Thank you for joining us.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
12 hours 26 in Guyana and right across the Eastern Caribbean. It is time for an excerpt from the Glenn Lal Show.
The French government receiving over $5